Before we get to the bone-chilling cold on the way, something that will warm your heart.
We certainly will do it. We have the final numbers in our annual Coats and Toys for Kids campaign for 2022. In the month of December, you donated more than 14,000 new or slightly used coats to make winter just a little bit warmer for so many children. And
get this, over the 40 years we've been doing Coats for Kids, you've donated more than 850,000 coats and more than 82,000 toys.
A lot of thanks for that.
Yeah, and those coats will certainly be needed this week.
Yeah, ideally, during the worst of this, we don't even go outside if we don't have to.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about that. And you know that my tone is usually not very serious, but it looks, Saturday morning looks legit. Now, there are already people on my Facebook page saying, in the 60s we had, which is true. That's actually one that when people say back in my day, that's actually true. We did used to get more consistently cold then, but it won't matter on Saturday morning. Let's get there first. It's clear right now, which means that tonight will be the first cold night of the stretch. Radiational cooling. If you remember, clouds in the winter are a good thing. They're insulative, like a blanket. So when you get rid of the clouds, temperatures fall quicker because the heat from the day rises up in the atmosphere. So tonight will be cold for sure. It won't be, record challenging cold, but will be single digits to around 10 along the coastline. On either side of 0 inland, and then below 0, I think, north of Bangor, from a line from Berlin to Bangor, and then up into the extreme down east Maine, will be below 0. That'll be the first cold stretch. Tomorrow we're back to sun. You've probably heard this myth before, too cold to snow. It's not true. It can snow at very, very cold temperatures. But a lot of times that comes from the idea that when a cold shot sets up, there's a big ridge of high pressure overhead, and that's what's happening here. So we'll have a lot of sunshine tomorrow. Temperatures in the upper teens to around 20 degrees. Tomorrow night will be very similar to tonight. Single digits, 0-ish, cold below 0 north of Bangor. And then Thursday will be a little bit of a break. A few more clouds around. That means we have a chance to get to around freezing by Thursday afternoon, which will feel relatively warmer compared to where we've been. And then here comes our Arctic front right there through Thursday night. Once that happens, that's when the bottom really drops out of those temperatures. And with that Arctic front, there's often snow squalls. So we'll watch that Thursday night into Friday because these fronts are big temperature changes and they get kind of convective in nature. So their quick squalls pop up, could put down a coating to a ½ inch of snow, and then here's our frigid air. And we've talked over the last week about this polar vortex part that's going to break off. So the polar vortex should stay up at the poles. When it gets weak, it breaks off, and it breaks off and comes down here, and we get just basically 36 hours of really cold air, and then it pushes out and we actually ridge back out. So it is short term. But air temperature, this is not wind chill, I think will be around 15 below along the coastline, about 20 below across the interior, and then 25 to 30 below into the mountains and northern Maine. Now, it will be breezy too. So when you factor in the wind, we'll have a brief period of time here late Friday night into early Saturday morning in which the wind chills will be in excess of 50 below 0, and in some cases close to 60 degrees below 0. And so I don't need to give you much advice about that. That is very cold. Don't forget, your pets don't like it either. Doesn't matter what kind of cute coat they have on, that's just too cold. And so that all happens. It's chilly again Saturday night. And then by Sunday, we're in the mid-30s again. And I'll tell you what, this may seem hard to fathom, but I think February will probably turn up above average temperature-wise. It looks like we're going to go back into that ridgy pattern, which just gave us our warmest January on record in Portland and Bangor. So this is the cold shot, but it's kind of surrounded, luckily, by warmer temps.
Rough start to the month, though.
Yes.
Yeah, dropping right down. All right, so with this forecast, which you've been talking about for several days now, we've been getting some emails from viewers saying, okay, can my heat pump handle this? This is some of the coldest air we've seen in a long time.